forward one. Once you've seen this done once, memorize it and you can reproduce it again. So what I'm told now, I'm actually told in a sense it's like an answer. You're told the answer and you're going to go backwards. So what's the other key word I've got? It's a spherical ball. So straight away, 4/3. This happens to be a formula a lot of people remember. 4/3 pi r cubed. And now what's happening is I've got to go backwards to find the radius. I'm not told the radius. Also, they do specify 3 significant figures. So again, it's not complicated, but watch how I do it. So now what happens is, I know the answer to this. So what I do is I take this 4/3 pi r cubed. I write it first, and I know what the volume is, so I write the volume down. And now what happens is, it's an algebra problem, and you're going to rearrange, and you're going to solve it for r. Now, I know we've all got different ways of rearranging, so I'll do it the way I would do it. This 3 is dividing, so on the opposite side, that 3 will multiply. This 4 is multiplying, so on the opposite side, it's going to divide. This pi is multiplying, so on the opposite side, it's going to divide as well. Now that leaves me with r cubed, so I've moved all those other things over to the other side. And now, to get the radius, what you have to do is you have to do the cube root of this whole calculation. Now, doing the cube root button on your calculator, usually you don't have one, so I'm going to actually have to show you how to do this on your calculator. I'm going to put, so that working there is enough to get you almost most of the marks in that question. You're going to get the final marks by actually, when you do it in the calculator, you're going to use the button, you're going to use the idea that the cube root is actually a fractional power, right? Something you've covered quite a while ago. So that's what the cube root looks like. And that's what I'm going to recreate now on my GDC. So I'll pull up my GDC, and I'm just going to type in then. So what I want to do, first of all, I want to do the cube root, and you don't have that button. So what you do is you use a bracket. So I'm going to put inside the brackets everything that's under this cube. So everything that's in here, everything that's in there goes under that root button. And this is quite a good one to look back on, just on how to do these questions with. Oh, where am I going here? Just to do these questions with a calculator. So I've used that bracket. Let's type our calculation in now. Times 3. Divided by, now I've got to divide it by 4 and by pi. So I've actually got to put another bracket inside here to show I'm dividing by everything that's in that denominator. And again, I'm looking for pi. Where are you hiding? There it is. Second, pi. Close my brackets. So essentially what I've done is I've now put in a second bracket down. Put a bracket here, and then I've got to close it again to tell the calculator that we've finished the division part. So there it is, we've got a second bracket coming in. And now, notice, I think that's what you were mentioning, we've got a bracket open here. So now we say, right, now that's the whole calculation calculator. So I'm going to tell the calculator, okay, close all that off. Now we haven't quite finished yet though, because now I need to do the cube root. Now to do the cube root in your calculator, as I say, the cube root is the power 1 over 3. So what you do is you use the power button, and then you bring in another bracket, and you say 1 over, which is basically divided by 3, close brackets. So that's probably the hardest question we've done. It's got rearranging in it, and the calculation on the calculator is tricky, but when you press your enter, it's going to take you back to the answer. 3 significant figures, so don't fall into that trap. Get the point that's going at the end for rounding off. 4.95 to 3 significant figures, but there's a 6 after that, so we're going to have to round up. So that, I'll put it in red here, that gives us our final answer, 4.96. So I've got my rounding off point, and maybe there's a unit penalty, so let's not slip up. Centimetres cubed, and just go back and check the question. Was the original question in centimetres? Yes, it was. Oh, what am I talking about though? Centimetres cubed. By looking back at the question, right, I can realise, wait a minute, I'm just talking about a length here, so centimetres. So you can see, one other good exam technique, when you get your answer, go back, have another read through that question, and just make sure you've hit all the points you need to hit.